Welcome to Sneak Preview. I'm your host, James McGrath Morris. This program is produced by New Mexico Writers, a not-for-profit organization committed to supporting and connecting the literary community in the Land of Enchantment. Here, authors, poets, playwrights, and others have agreed to share with us a work that has not yet been published. In other words, a sneak preview. With us today is Ross Van Dusen, the author and illustrator of many wonderful children's books, as well as a line of lighthearted mysteries for adults. Before turning to fine art, illustration, and writing, Van Dusen completed a successful career in advertising. He makes his home in Albuquerque. To learn more about his work, be sure to visit his website, rossvandusen.com. So Ross, what have you brought for us today?
Well, first, thanks for inviting me, Jamie. I thought I'd talk about this book that hasn't been published yet. This is a mock-up that I put together to send to my publisher, Bradley the Cross-Eyed Spider. And the story is about a spider who can't make a decent web. And it goes something like this. In Farmer John's barn, most of the spiders had really good eyes. They would spin perfect webs and catch lots of flies. But one of the spider's webs never looked right. They were uneven because of his sight. That spider was Bradley, who had badly crossed eyes. His webs were so crooked, the flies flew right through. In 3 or 4 weeks, he might catch only 2. All of the spiders would laugh at his webs. Their webs caught so many flies, they got really fat, while poor, hungry Bradley just sat. He hoped and he waited, and he sat, and he sat, and he sat. Bradley's trouble was he saw everything double. He watched as the flies flew right through his web, and he didn't know what to do. He'd see one little fly and think there were 2. How could 2 little flies just zip through his web? He should have caught 1. Being cross-eyed was really no fun. And it goes on to talk about how his webs would break, and then he would, I gotta get these pages are stuck together, and he would try again and never quite came right. But the turn in the story is now the spiders didn't know that trouble was brewing just outside his barn. Some big hungry crows would bring them great harm. The crows flew into the barn ready to feast. Oh mercy, oh dear. As the crows flew around, all the spiders trembled in fear. And I had a lot of fun with the Home Alone screen. I just tried to give the spiders some personality. Okay, here we are. The birds flew around in a dizzying dash, and the fat, juicy spiders were gone in a flash. I won't get all the pages. He's threatened and he's scared, but he's not even a snack because he's so skinny. So when the crow looked at Bradley, Bradley didn't look back, and the crow just decided he wasn't even a snack. So off the crow went to find a real dinner. Now Bradley was glad that he was much thinner. The crows ate the big juicy spiders and just flew away. Hooray, hooray, and hooray. Bradley was saved for another day. Now I end on a little thing about trying hard. Now Bradley tried very hard to spin his webs better. They were never quite perfect, but he never did quit. He worked on those webs until they caught enough flies to keep him healthy and fit. So if you visit Farmer John's barn, look for a web that isn't quite straight. And know that it's Bradley's and that he's doing just great. I couldn't let the poor little guy get eaten by the crows. But it's a story about, keep trying. A lot of kids aren't, they're not all top of the pack, so a lot of kids are, just in there plugging away. And this is sort of an homage to them. Okay. I also, I have a book that's not out yet that should have been out this year. The Albuquerque International Balloon Fiesta commissioned me to do a book, and they gave me free rein, do whatever you want to do. So I had the best day ever. It's a story about, let me get to the page. Kids, how, it's the event all kids knew about. You sleep on the way, it's so dark when they leave, and they get there and they're stunned by by the amazing, that when the lights first coming up and all, and they're all around, and mom and dad are off having a pilot invite them. And he invites them and they're all terribly scared. Some are absolutely terrified and some are really worried. And of course, there's always a couple of brave ones. This Indian kid it'll be a lot of fun, and so they finally have to be talked into everybody going. But Scooters, the big chicken, is worried that they're going to float off into space. And the guy says, "Don't worry, gravity will keep us in place." And so they finally take, they have a little breakfast first, and then they get off on these great balloons, and I can see my house over there, and then this page challenges the kids to find, the horses and the foxes and all the little critters. And so they look around and see if they can find all of them. And then they have to come back down to earth. And it ends on, secrets don't work anymore. It was the best day ever. So that's going to be the book if they ever get the Balloon Fiesta going again. They're kind of.
And that book, I'm sure, will celebrate it. What a enticing set of sneak previews you've given us, Ross.
Yeah, there's a bunch more coming. I've got Packy the Bear Loved Blueberry Pie. He dukes it out with Grandma. He keeps stealing her pies, and then I have a whole series called Zuzu McBlueberry and the Dragon, Zuzu McBlueberry and the Gypsy Shadows, and Zuzu McBlueberry and the Pirates. And what she does in these books is she magically appears and she saves the king and his people from the dragon. Then she teaches the pirates how to not be pirates. She gets them to go to an island and become merchants. And in the gypsy one, she gets the gypsies to be accepted by the townsfolk. So I try to work on a happy ending for, just a story with a problem and a fix. Zuzu's a magic little girl who does the fixing.
Oh, great. Well, thank you, Ross. It was a terrific selection, and I know our viewers enjoyed it. We hope that folks will tune in soon again for another installment of Sneak Preview. And to learn more about New Mexico writers, visit our website, nmwriters.org.